show with Gully and Joe. Turn it up.
Sorry, man, it's Gully and Joe.
Gully?
Gully, yeah.
Okay.
One more time.
Hey, this is Tim from Soy, and this is the rock show with Gully and John. Gully and who?
Joe.
Jay, okay.
Joe.
Hey, this is Tim from Soy, and you're listening to the rock show with Gully and Jay. Turn it up.
Oh, man, I'm sorry, it's Joe. J-O-E, Joe.
Joe, oh, you're killing me here. This is Tim from Soil, and you're listening to the motherfucking rock show with Gully and Joe.
Bam! Just like that. That's all there is to it, Dustin. That's all there is to it. A winner! Just like that. We'll be right back with our Price is Right. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Rock Show with Gully and Joe. I'm with Meryl from Voodoo Vegas. How are you, Meryl?
I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're good here, thanks. Let's go back to the history of Voodoo Vegas. Tell us how the band formed and what sounds you were aiming for and, yeah, all the rest of it. Give us a bit of a backstory about the band.
Well, I'm not one of the original members, really, but originally Lawrence, the singer, and Nick Brown, the guitar player, they formed the band, I think about 8 years ago. And I'm not sure how they found each other, but they did, and they started writing songs, and they went through various drummers and had a couple different bass players. And I was friends with them. I was in a different band at the time, and I was friends with them because we practiced at the same rehearsal studio, so I'd bump into them a lot. And Nick was the only guitar player then. But then one day I left my band, so this was 6 years ago, and Nick said to me, "Oh, do you want to join Voodoo Vegas and be on second guitar?" And I thought, "Oh, yeah, all right then. I've got no other musical projects going on."
We'll talk about the album as well then, The Rise of Jimmy Silver. I remember I reviewed that a couple of years ago now for Music Trespass. Tell us about that album.
It was the first album, so you haven't got time to write. And then we thought, oh well, we're ready to do an album now, so we need to find a producer. So we just emailed Pedro Ferreira. He's the guy that produced Permission to Land by the Darkness, and he produced loads of great things. We was always really impressed with his work, so we wouldn't expect him to get an email back or anything. But we got one back straight away saying, "Oh, do you want to have a meeting in London, just like a casual talk about planning on maybe doing this album?" So we were like, "Yeah, definitely." So we went to London about a week later and met him, and he recommended a studio, which was Rockfield in Monmouth, which is where so many legends have recorded, like Led Zeppelin and Queen and Sabbath, and pretty much everyone you could probably think of actually from there.
I want to ask about Jimmy Silver. Where did that character come from? Because it's not a concept album, is it? But he is a character in the song. The
story behind that was, when Lawrence and Nick formed the band, the first song they ever wrote was called Jimmy Silver, and that's the song that's on the album too. And it's just a fictitious sort of character that represents the life spirit, say, of party rock and roll and good times and having fun and being young. Because Lawrence and Nick were very young at the time, I guess, when they formed the band. And it's just then put that into a nutshell, basically. And then when it came to choosing the album name, it was Lawrence's idea. He said, "Oh, well, that's the first song we ever wrote, and that's going on the album, and it'll just make a really good concept to wrap up the album to make this character come to life, really, and name the album after the song, and after the character." So, and then we asked a really good artist called Jim Boswell to design it all for us. Well, we actually told him how we wanted it, and then he practically did it, basically, and he's really good to have on board, and that's how that came about, really.
Shall we play a track from the album? What one do you think, for someone who wouldn't be too familiar with the band, if you was going to introduce the band now, what song would you play from it?
I think let's go for King Without a Crown, please.
Okay, let's bring it on.
You're like a faded up tattoo.
before we go, do you want to select a special track?
I'm happy with anything by Blackstone Cherry, please.
Me and Mary Jane got a thing going on, creeping up slow, hanging around my back door, my back door. Smoke like a freight train. Yeah, we're wilder than some Mustangs. Got the top down and skinnered up. We're laid back, but we're on the up. Ain't nothing like a Friday night, and that smell that gets you feeling right. I've waited all week for this. The head party I don't wanna miss. Something in the air and it's taking control. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, baby? Come on, let it go. Me and Mary Jane got a thing going on, creeping up slow, hanging around my back door, my back door. If we get caught, everyone will see us storm, see us storm. Me and Mary Jane got a thing going on, We're living for a good time, good friends across the county line. The climate's getting steeper, so baby don't fear the reaper. Midnight, another round, fire it up just to burn it down. It don't come any cheaper, and nothing tastes sweeter. Something in the air and it's taking control. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, baby? Come on, let it go. Me and Mary Jane got a thing going on, creeping up slow, hanging around my back door, my back door. If we get caught, everyone will see us storm, see us storm. Me and Mary Jane got a thing going on, Me and Mary Jane got a thing going on, creeping up slow, hanging around my back door, my back door. If we get caught, everyone will see us storm, see us storm. Me and Mary Jane got a thing going on,
The Rock Show with Gully and Joe.